through her old winter coat, nurturing her frustration. Mam would be lying in bed upstairs, full of aches and pains, waiting for Callie to go up and see her. And downstairs? She wondered what her dad and Annie were doing at that very moment. She'd been thrilled when Mam first told her about the baby, a little brother or a sister to play with, but she didn't feel like that now. It's the baby's fault Mam's poorly and Annie's staying to mind the house, she silently told the distant slag heaps. All I want is for Mam to get back to the way she used to be and for Annie to go away. Her thoughts black and her bony little bottom chilled from sitting on the cold flagstones. Callie wandered into the wasteland in search of something pleasanter to occupy her mind. Trailing vetch and fescue grasses tickled her ankles, and a film of white blossom iced her crow-black hair where it grazed the tallest parsley fronds. In a bedraggled thorn bush, a pair of robins flitted from branch to branch. Callie stopped to watch them, their beady little eyes twinkling back at her and making her giggle. Close by the bush, a cluster of aconites sprouted amongst the weeds. Callie plucked them, her fingers nimble with impatience. She'd take them home for Mam. Mam liked flowers. Then she remembered. Her dad had locked her out. She badly wanted to go to her Mam, but she didn't dare go back home until her dad called her. Tightening her grip on the bunch of aconites, she crushed the sappy stalks to slime before tossing the wilting posy into the air. Babies. Pit strikes. Annie. They all stank. Meanwhile, in the larger of the 2 bedrooms in number 11, Jackson's Yard, Ada Manfield wakened from an uneasy sleep. Gazing up at the ceiling, she solemnly assessed her situation. She hadn't suffered like this when she was expecting Callie. She had positively bloomed in her first pregnancy. Not even the 3 brief miscarriages that followed had caused this much grief. Now, her limbs swollen with fluid and every breath agonizing, she feared death might easily find her. And if that wasn't enough to contend with, she was now faced with the George and Annie thing. Through closed eyes, Ada recalled the day Annie had arrived at the door of number 11, begging to be taken in. At first, she hadn't recognized the trollopish young woman standing there, a battered Gladstone bag at her feet. It wasn't until Annie had thrown herself against Ada's chest, gabbling a tale of woe, that Ada had realized this was the sister she hadn't seen for 7 years. And I was pleased to see her then, thought Ada, tossing back the bedcovers. I even thought it propitious that she should arrive just when I needed someone to help run the house and care for Callie whilst I was laid up. How wrong was I? But I had no way of knowing she had grown into a devious, spiteful young woman, thought Ada. After all, she was only a child when I last saw her. And now she's a brazen 17-year-old vamp with an eye for your husband, urged an inner voice. And he, the fool, seems happy to play his part. Ada heaved herself to the edge of the bed, thinking back to the first time her suspicions had been aroused. Then she had contented herself with the idea that it was her condition making her unusually sensitive. She had come downstairs unexpectedly to find Annie in George's arms, their lips almost touching. "She's got something in her eye," George had blustered, Annie twittering that a spark had shot out from the fire while she was tending it. And I wanted to believe them, Ada told herself, planting her feet on the floor and struggling upright. She shuffled round the bed, silently acknowledging that taking in her younger sister had been a big mistake. Maybe marrying George had also been a mistake. It hadn't seemed so at the time. She had fallen head over heels for his flamboyant good looks and rakish manner within weeks of coming to work in Calthorpe. Perhaps I should have listened to my father after all, thought Ada, his words fresh in her mind as she leant against the edge of the dressing table to catch her breath. "Marry him and you'll bring yourself down, girl." When she had, he had disowned her. The rift never healed. "You make your bed and you lie in it," Ada silently told her reflection in the mirror, at the same time thinking she looked nearer 40 than 20.